What do you mean I am a figment of your imagination? I feel real. I feel like I know what happened last time on the Incorrigible party.
Recovering from their battle with the Kraken, the party speaks to Slava in an attempt to convince the Tritons to aid them in dealing with Isabella. Theories are posed about the island's draw, about a hidden power in or surrounding the landmass. Slava agrees to accompany the party into the city of Heraklion to gather information about its status, and to form a potential plan of attack if the Tritons are needed to usurp Isabella's rule. Outside of the Elder's Keep, the familiar, raspy voice of Alamar Zelwick can be heard addressing a crowd.
Yes, some past events mayhaps were a bit extreme. But that surely does not lead one to the conclusion that their whole world was concocted by one deranged individual. I must think on this as the adventure continues.
Well, there you go. They're getting ready to elect a new council. Sounds like problem solved.
Led by Alamar and Isabella?
You gotta admit he's pretty resilient.
Yeah, Shaft, the question is, how is Alamar alive?
I have no idea. I saw him dead.
Yeah, didn't you kill him?
I don't know. Maybe he's one of those doppelganger guys. You know, like they have of us.
Or mayhaps one of the people with him went back and revived him.
From dead?
Have we not done similar?
You can revive the dead. I've been trained.
Well then, next time we kill him, take his head off or something. Stick it in a bag.
Yes, apparently we are going to have to take drastic measures.
So the body was left in full form laying there.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that's gotta be how this happened. You can't revive a body that isn't revivable.
I suppose that's possible. That's a good point, Chikara. Someone may have come across his body and revived him.
Let's go over here by the corner and listen to see who the hell they're gonna elect as
We should stay back. I can send Sparky in.
To listen?
I can hear through his ears.
Okay. I'll sort of back up over, and if I can still hear what they're saying in there, since we heard Alamar before, I'm gonna try to listen in. But other than that, you can send Sparky in.
Sure, I mean, Alamar was shouting to quiet the voices. Now this seeming crowd that you've heard has quieted. So Alamar's speaking volume is now reduced slightly. So it's kind of more faint from directly outside of the keep. But yeah, Shikari, if you want to send Sparky in and listen to what's being said.
I will not be able to see or hear myself anything of our own surroundings while I am listening through Sparky. And I'll send him off.
Is there a way to snap you out of it? Would you tell me what to do if I need you back?
Shake me.
Okay.
Are your eyes open or closed when you're doing this?
Open, and my eyes are rolled back in my head.
That's creepy.
Dear.
I'm gonna wave my hand in front of your face while you're doing it.
So you are hearing through Sparky. It's not like Sparky relays it back.
And seeing, hearing and seeing through him.
Okay, Shikara, I'll shake you if I need you.
All right.
And Sparky makes his way in. Why don't you have Sparky make me a stealth check?
That's dex-based?
Yep.
That's a 20.
Okay.
Dang.
Sparky kind of soundlessly flits off of what he's on your shoulder. Is that where he kind of hangs out when you got him?
Yes, yeah.
Flits off your shoulder, flying through the portcullis, which again is open, and into the keep, kind of disappearing from the rest of your view, but Shikara seeing and hearing through Sparky. He flies into towards the sound of Alamar's voice, which as Sparky gets closer, you can hear more clearly. Inside of the Great Hall, which is where Sparky finds himself and finds the crowd of people. There's this hall now where, you've been in here 2 times before at least, first during the party and of course with Isabella bringing her creations to life, is now completely empty. There's no sign of any of the flesh golems or parts or the podium that was glowing that had Eccles' essence drained into it. But aside from that, much like when you were here for the party, there is that big long table that was at the furthest end of the great hall where the elders were sitting. And at the table sits Isabella and Alamar. Again, behind them, against the wall, which would be, I guess, the northern wall, Isabella's 2 bodyguards in their gray robes stand behind her. And kind of off to what would be Sparky's right is one of the twins, formerly triplets, Hulsa. She was the quieter one. She was the nonverbal one. And Alamar is addressing Tenchi, Hef, and Janella. And the 3 of them step up to this table. And it seems Alamar is pronouncing that these 3 will be part of the new assemblance of elders. And you see Alamar, he looks incredibly pale. He's on his feet now as he's kind of addressing the crowd, but he's even more hunched than kind of how he was before you saw him, right? Like, he looks like he's grown even more feeble almost, or maybe become a little more decrepit. He's got both his hands on the table in front of him. He seems to be putting most of his weight on it to keep himself on his feet. Tenchi, Hef, and Janella, they've stepped up to the table as Alamar is addressing them.
I see Alamar. Isabella is with him. Tenchi, Hef, and Janella are there also. Alamar is addressing them.
Can you wait? So Shakara is able to talk?
She can't see or hear anything around her yet, but she feel physical stimuli.
So we can talk to each other. Can she hear us?
No.
No.
She can't hear us, but she's relaying to us. Okay, that's what I was trying to understand. Janella?
Tenchi and Hefe? What are they doing in there?
Who's looking after Grimby? Janella. Ugh.
Inside the hall, Sparky, through his ears, you hear Shakara, you hear Alamar. The 3 of you, I've been told, showed much heroism to protect this city in its trying days. I believe it would only be fit for you 3 to aid us in its rebuilding. And Isabella now gets to her feet. Oh my, yes. It would be quite splendid to have the 3 of you join us. As you see, we are lacking the numbers now. This city does need a council of reliable people.
They seem to be making them elders.
Elders?
Tenchi?
Goodness.
I mean, he does a good tattoo, but I don't know if he's up to running a Heraklion.
I think Janella is a worthy person.
Alamar looks very tired.
They certainly are unorthodox choices, if you ask me, but who am I to say, I guess?
I mean, what we were saying before, they seem like reputable people. I mean, they've all helped us in some way, right?
They have, you're right.
You would know Hefe and Tenchi. I do not know them. However, I am curious if Isabella will sense that Sparky is spying. We don't want Isabella to suspect us.
Yeah.
Too late now.
Yeah, cat's out of the bag if she knows. But
Pseudo-dragon's out of the bag.
Dragon's out of the bag. Okay, let's see what they say.
I mean, it sounds like things are going the right way. That your concerns might be unfounded, and if she's willing to let some people like them be part of the.
Yeah, this is a bit better than I expected, if I'm being honest. let's continue to watch and see what unfolds.
Or listen to what Shakara says.
Right.
Now, all of you we've assembled here, well, you are some of the leaders in your respective schools of magic. We certainly want to hear all of your voices as well. I know many of you certainly know Janella and have seen what Tenchi and Hef have done for this city. Let us take a vote. And they proceed. Sparky can see the vast majority of the people in here kind of raise their hands and an eye kind of like, yes, we support this. And Isabella gives a nod to the crowd and a smile. Now, as I'm sure many of you can see, Elamar should get some of his rest. He did fight quite hard for us outside of this protective shell that we were under. Please, Tenchi, Janella, Hef, could you escort Elamar to his quarters, and on the way he can show you your new studies, your new offices. The three of them oblige, and Sparky witnesses Alamar kind of still using the table. He kind of makes his way to the end of it, and Tenchi and Hef kind of grab an arm for him as the three of them escort him out of the hall towards Alamar's office and where all the other elders' rooms and studies were. And Isabella kind of basically, she dismisses the rest of the people in the hall. Thank you all so much for lending your voices. I believe we have much to do and the elders much to discuss. Please, stay, enjoy our library here, go about your own business. But I think we are concluded for today. And the voices, the people, they start chatting again amongst themselves, and a few of them, Sparky witnesses starting to turn around and like file out kind of thing. As I mentioned, he kind of flits maybe back out of a doorway or something, trying to just find somewhere to continue to stay out of sight.
Does it look like he could follow Alamar and the others?
Well, so he can't fly, obviously. He wouldn't be able to fly across the room to follow the door in which they exited. And as far as you know, Sparky doesn't know his way around the keep. So is it a like, can you give him commands when you're seeing through his eyes, or what?
It says while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically.
Okay.
Well, 100 feet.
They took a vote. The others in the room voted in agreement with these three being part of the elders. Alamar, Tenchi, and Hef and Janella are going back to Alamar's study now. I'm going to see if I can have Sparky follow.
Would I know how far that is? Like, is it more than 100 feet to his study?
Oh, yes, definitely.
I'm going to have Sparky come back to me now. It is too far away for him to go on his own.
So, Shakar, you see that the crowd is now, like, leaving the hall towards the portcullis, right, where the exit, where basically the lot of you are kind of hiding.
I'm just going to lean against the wall like I have no, just killing time.
Sure, and the rest of you certainly do hear their chatting start to pick up again. Again, you've heard maybe a bit of what was going on. Once the volume was reduced, it did become a little muffled, as there was no need for Alamar to be yelling over anybody. But obviously, you've gotten the scoop from Shakar regardless of what you may or may not have heard. And these people begin to file out. And Shakar, as you recall Sparky, you hear again through Sparky's ears, Isabella kind of speaks up. Oh, Sparky, come, my dear. I guess still looking through Sparky's eyes, Sparky flies through the Great Hall, kind of above the heads of the people filing out. You see some people looking up, but I mean, obviously, many of them, like, some of them probably have their own pseudo-dragons, so it's nothing. A familiar around the likes of Heracleon certainly there's nothing peculiar about that. The three of you, Mia, Shaft, and Falzaren, I assume the two of you, plus Drag and Slava is here as well. Don't forget Slava. All trying to look as nonchalant as possible, just hanging out at right outside the keep as people are passing you. And you know, as some of them walk by, a few of them seem to recognize you from the events of that initial invasion when they broke through the gates and downed the shelf momentarily. As you're kind of getting some hails and some, you know, a few of them coming up to shake your hand and thank you, that kind of stuff. So you are seeming to get some adoration and definitely recognition around the city.
If they only know who killed the Kraken, you know? Mia's...
Well, they'd be groveling at your feet, obviously.
Of course. Bow down.
But Sparky comes over to Isabella and lands
Frickin' Sparky.
on her shoulder. And by now the hall is nearly empty as the last few people are filing out. And Shakara, it's almost as if you yourself are on Isabella's shoulder. As if you are her pet. As she scritches under Sparky's jaw like she did just a day ago when you got that pyramid portal from her. She kind of smiles at Sparky, and Isabella cocks her head a bit. She's, oh my, very interesting. Shakara, are you near? She kind of like gently grabs Sparky's like face right in her hand, which seems to be kind of larger than it really should be on a woman her size. And she kind of like directs him up and looks right into Sparky's eyes. Shakara, is it true? Is this true? Will you be joining me? Please, where are you? Come to me. Speak with me. And she kind of lets Sparky go.
I will drop the link with Sparky.
Drop it like a tot.
Isabella wants to see us.
Okay.
I don't like the sounds of this, but I suppose this was going to happen one way or another.
We shouldn't be too afraid. We like the three new elders, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
When Sparky saw the Tenchi and Hef and Janella, did they look like they had been maybe not feeble-minded, but in some way mind-controlled at all?
Why don't you give me a retroactive insight check?
Using my stats or Sparky's?
Yours. You can use yours.
That's a 23.
It didn't seem like they were in any sort of like duress or acting strange based off, I mean, some of the interactions. I mean, you know Janella pretty well, and she's every time you've seen her, like, she's been quite poised, you know, and she's never been frenetic or really nervous all that much. Maybe anytime she would express some overwrought concern more than anything. And the three of them seemed to be acting normally. As they were kind of approaching the table, there was kind of maybe a bit of a underlying excitement between the three of them, possibly. Janella seemed to be kind of quite proud, as it seems to really mean something, like a very honorific title for her specifically. Tenchi seemed very nonchalant, not quite like disengaged, but pretty happy to be up there as well. And Hef, you know, he's Hef, eh?
Okay.
Falzaren, stay behind me.
And I'll turn around and walk into the keep.
I'll push myself up the wall and go, let's get this over with.
I will follow.
And walk in.
I will caboose it.
Come on, Drag. Come on, Slava. Don't want to forget you guys.
Slava's like, I am not wearing shoes.
Slava's like, I'm not wearing pants.
I feel underdressed.
Isabella, I am here.
Oh, my. I thought you would be close. She kind of gives a little hand wave to Sparky, and Sparky again, like, flits off and flies back over to you.
I'll dismiss him to his pocket dimension.
She kind of frowns a little bit as she sees him go. Oh, it's so lovely you could all join me. It seems you were very successful outside of the city, out on the water, yes?
That's right. Boats are taken care of. We did what you asked.
The Kraken is no longer a concern of yours.
Yes, Isabella, I think we have done our part of the deal. I was hoping you might hold up your side of the agreement and remove this thing from my chest.
Well, yes, you certainly have come through on your end. She turns to Shakara. Shakara, is what Sparky has told me, it is true, yes? You will be joining? Me and my sister?
If there is no other option, I have conditions.
Oh, my. Speaking like a true Coven member. Please, tell me, what are they?
That Falzaren. We have no need for him. He should be allowed to be let go. And I will not be your lapdog or attack dog. I will not be controlled by anyone.
Well, I certainly have no intention of controlling you. I quite like your company, to be honest. I must tell you, though, should you join us, your goals do become the Coven's, as we are an entity.
I will need to know the Coven's goals before making that decision, then.
Well, quite frankly, our goals could be your goals as well. But yes, there are many things I hope to achieve and have already agreed to achieve. You would need to aid me in what I've already set out to accomplish.
And what is that?
Well, there are many things that I've discussed with Samuel Coltis, and quite frankly, you would be a great asset in achieving some of those goals.
I have one more question. Why Heracleon? What is special about this island?
Oh, the island. Erica did mention something about it being a place of power, but really I came here for the weapon.
The shield.
Taking the island was just a bonus for myself. For a job well done, really.
So you do not know what the power is?
No, but I'm quite interested now. What do you know of it?
Nothing. That is all I know. Mayhaps Alamar would know.
We could ask him, I suppose.
I'm afraid he may be a little upset with me.
Oh, I don't think you have anything to worry about from Alamar.
Why is that?
I don't believe he has any problem with you. She turns to Falzaren. Just kind of gives you a side glance. Perhaps the island has more business here for the Coven than I realized. I told you, you are a fantastic addition to the team. Look at what you've brought us. Something I was sitting on and didn't even know. Now with your help and your knowledge, there's plenty to pursue here now. There's no need for me to depart. I think I'll stay a little longer.
As I said, that is all I know.
I'm sure the three of us could put our heads together.
3? Who's the third?
Oh, my sister Jessica. I think you'd like her as well.
And where is she?
Oh, she likes to stay in Victor, doing her end of this bargain, for lack of a better word, that we've struck up with Samuel.
What is this bargain? Tell me more, please.
Well, I will say I'm not sure how much I should tell you, in front of possibly everyone else. No offense.
Hey, look, I don't want to know. Pop this thing off his chest, and I got another request.
Oh,
And far be it from me to ask a favor of you, but I think you and I, we've got along fine from the moment I met you, right?
I've always liked you, Shaft.
Thanks. I've always liked you too. I do have one other request after you pop this thing off of Falzaren here. Is I do have a friend in Victor that's fallen under some ailment that you might be able to, I don't know, help me cure her of this.
Oh, perhaps, maybe my sister will know of whom you speak. What's her name?
Her name is Nina.
Well, I can certainly put in a good word with my sister.
I'd appreciate it, and then you and I, we're square as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Falzaren, is this what you want as well? Many have spoken on your behalf. You want to relinquish the power that I've given you?
If I'm being honest, Isabella, it hasn't been much benefit to me. In fact, it's been probably more of a detriment.
I hit him in the ribs and go, just say yes.
Yeah. Yes, Isabella, I have no interest in carrying on this little agreement that we had. I would like to be free of my link with you.
Ah, well, it was fun while it lasted. Yes, I'll certainly remove your scapulet. It may hurt.
I'm well accustomed to the pain it has already inflicted, Isabella. I'm sure I will survive.
Oh, do I hear a hint of enjoyment? Perhaps.
What I'm going to enjoy is being rid of this connection to you, Isabella. I think it has benefited you far more than it has benefited me.
Well, I will say that is probably true. I mean, Erica is dead, but didn't see much headway was made in that arrangement until you met Shakara.
Mia kind of also coughs.
Oh, Miss Brightwood, something I can do for you as well. It appears everyone is asking me of favors today.
I look over at Mia and sort of shake my head. No.
Izzy, I just wanted to say that I killed Erica, not Shakara. I killed the Kraken, not Shakara. It's fine that you want Shakara, and if that's really what she wants, you two have all the fun you want. But I need some answers. Who is Samuel Coltis? What does he have to do with all of this?
Well, what do you mean by all of this?
Just seems like there's many things in the works for you, Isabella.
Yes, I have many brands in the fire, one might say. But I'm a busy woman. Now, I'm certainly impressed to hear that you've dealt many killing blows. But she kind of stops mid-sentence and gives you a real, look over. You see her, almost, sniff the air in your direction. I'm not sure you're quite coven material.
Well, I haven't showered in a year, so...
Mia, if you want to be part of the coven, you go right ahead.
Oh, no.
Apparently you are far superior to me.
No. I don't want to be part of this coven. I just want to be sure that we're leaving Heraklion in the right hands. A lot of great people died to save this city, and Isabella, I've been told not to trust you.
Oh,
Not by me.
by whom then?
You know,
Yes,
the
Mia,
word,
by whom?
the word on the street. It's not to trust you.
Falzaren looks sideways at Mia and raises an eyebrow.
And then these two, they said they killed Alamar, and he's still alive.
What? They killed Alamar?
Look, Isabella, I think we could stand here all night going back and forth. But one thing is clear. I'm ready to sever our connection and move on with my life. I don't know what your plans are moving forward. I'm not sure that I trust your plans, but that is neither here nor there for the moment being. I have upheld my side of the deal. I would appreciate it if you would uphold yours.
Yeah, and give him his vitality back. You've sucked him dry.
Yes, that's true, I have. I can certainly return that as well. I'm not unreasonable. It seems that maybe some of you believe that I am. I can be reasoned with.
You've always been square with me.
Yes, of course. See? Drake he's been twiddling that ring spinning the ring on his finger this whole time. But he takes kind of a step forward up to next to Shakara. What of the weapon? You said you're here for the weapon. It shouldn't be a weapon. It needs to be reverted back to its original state. Oh, no, I'm afraid not. If it makes you feel any better, it won't be in Heraklion for much longer. It'll be passed on to where it needs to go.
Where does it need to go?
Well, it will be going to Samuel, actually. He needs it for something.
What is the range on this weapon?
Oh, well. And you kind of see her finally, regarding Slava for the first time. It's almost like she's been ignoring him up until now. I'm sure your friend here can speak to its range. It's many miles. Slava's face kind of remains emotionless, as pretty much that's all you've seen from Slava to date is not much emotion.
Can we please have Leland play 3 different voices at one time? Please.
It's getting there.
That's why I was dying.
At the mention of this going to Samuel Coltis, Falzaren looks over to Shaft.
I sort of whisper, one thing at a time. Let's get that off your chest first.
Falzaren shrugs, sort of saying, okay, if you insist.
So, we're ready, right? I mean, I got stuff to do before I head back to the mainland, so, can we pop this thing off?
Yes. Enough talking. I'm ready to get this over with, Isabella.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were in a rush.
I apologize. I have a friend to go talk to. I told him I'd be there an hour ago at least. So, just want to wrap this up if we can.
She got the edges of a smile forming at the corner of her mouth. Of course. Falzaren, please step forward as she begins to move towards the lot of you.
I step forward, sort of a bit reluctantly, but trying to keep my chin up. I make eye contact with her and pull my robe aside, revealing this scapulet embedded in my chest.
I stay right next to him the entire way.
And I think this is really the first time Shakara or Mia has fully seen this scapulet in his
penis.
chest.
Oh, sorry. What?
It is just like this kind of solid piece of what looks like iron in his chest, and kind of embedded into the flesh, right? And radiating out from it across his chest and shoulders are these green veins under his skin.
Is it rectangular or ovular?
It's like oval, yeah. Isabella kind of steps up to him, smiles at you, Falzaren, tentatively pokes at it, and grips it in both of her hands. And Shakara, you see, I suppose all of you probably see at this point, you're all close enough, that for those of you that have seen Isabella's true form, that whatever illusory magic she uses to put on this guy is just kind of at her hands, pretty much up to the wrist. It kind of dispels as the image kind of shimmers and fades, and you see these large, gray skin, wrinkled hands with long, broken, jagged fingernails peeling at the scapulet, and she grabs it, grips it between her fingers, and just begins to pull on it. And Falzaren, that same pain when you're being drained kind of shoots through your body, like magnified tenfold as she's doing this. It separates from your flesh, and attached to it are these 3 thick tendrils that seem to be pulling from under your skin. And as she yanks on it, giving like 4 or 5 inches of separation, stretching out these tendrils between the scapula and your chest. With her other hand, she takes one of her jagged fingernails and just nicks at one of these tendrils, separating it. And can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
You get +4.
Yeah, aura that.
So my con save adds up with Shakara's aura to a 24.
That is a pass. You take 20 necrotic damage as the first of 3 tendrils is severed.
I will cast, because I assume he looks faint-ish. So I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Oh my, is that too much for you, Falzaren?
He can take it.
Shall we continue?
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Isabella,
Falzaren.
just get this over with.
You get 9 back.
Falzaren, I put my hand on his shoulder, and he can roll an extra d4 and add it to the ability check of his choice for up to a minute with guidance, my cantrip.
Does it also work with saving throws?
Oh, shoot. Nope, it says ability check.
Then it unfortunately does nothing for you. She continues to pull on the scapulet, severing the second of these tendrils, and you can make another Constitution saving throw.
This one is a 12.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a fail, unfortunately.
You are hurting him.
He'll take 35 necrotic damage.
Can you not be more gentle?
Oh, I'm sorry. I suppose there is another way. This just seemed like more fun for me. Shall we try that?
What is it?
Falzaren's unconscious.
Oh my!
I use my cantrip Spare the Dying, and I touch a creature that has 0 hit points. He becomes stable. Cantrip.
I will cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay.
He gets back another 13 hit points.
So I assume he falls to the ground.
Yeah, and as he
unconscious?
falls, Isabella lets go of the scapulet, and you see now it doesn't like it's on an elastic or suck right back into the chest, but it just kind of hangs from this third last tendril.
Oh dear.
Oh my, Falzaren, I'm so sorry. Can you take one more?
He can take it.
What is the other way?
Oh well, I could perform a ritual and sever our bond.
Would that hurt him?
Yeah, does it hurt him?
Not if I do it correctly.
Then do it correctly.
Exactly. I put my
Of
hand on my
course.
hammer.
I'm sorry. I just thought we'd all have a bit of fun.
This isn't
This is no
fun
fun.
for anyone but you, Isabella. Are you trying to kill me?
I can see that. No, I don't want you dead. She turns back to Hulsa, who's still against the wall with her bodyguards. Oh, Hulsa, dear, could you fetch the blood and the phlogiston, please? And you see her on this back wall, it has these two double doors that you've all seen do lead into some type of courtyard, but they are closed. And she pushes through one of them, disappears for 20 or 30 seconds, and comes back with two wooden buckets in her hands. Walks up to Shakara, Falzaren, and Isabella and kind of plops them down in front of the three of you. And looking inside, both of these buckets is actually filled with what looks like blood. And Hulsa, from a kind of a deep pocket in her robe, pulls out quite a large vial of this swirling liquid that somehow seems to contain every color of the rainbow within it, while still giving off its own type of glow. And she hands it to Isabella. Thank you, dear.
I'm going to say to Dreg while she's walking back, hey, if once this thing gets out of Falzaren's chest, you, me, Falzaren, Mia, get us the hell out of here. You can leave Shakara.
Are you sure? We can't leave Shakara.
No, she's going to be our inside connection.
I can do that.
And I sort of look back at it and go, okay, and look and see what's happening.
Where did you get all that phlogiston?
Oh, I know some people. The Coven has many perks.
Interesting.
Now, Falzaren, I'm afraid you're going to have to drink these buckets of celestial blood.
Wait, why don't you just do it the way you were doing it before?
It would kill him,
You
Shaft.
only got one left. You can heal him.
Why so much
Look,
blood?
I look at her and I go, you want him to drink that? Are you telling me you want him to drink that?
Well, no, but I also don't want him to be hurt.
But you can heal him, right?
I can.
I can heal
Yank
him.
that thing out of his chest.
I can heal
Come
him
on,
too,
Izzy.
Shakara. If you give me a chance.
The question is, where did you get that much celestial blood?
No. That's not a question. We don't care. Yank that thing out of his chest, and then we'll be done here.
Falzaren, we know exactly where it came from. Do not fool yourself.
And Erica had all that phlogiston.
Izzy, yank the thing. Baby, I know. It'll be fun watching him squirm.
Let's get this over with, Isabella. Pull it out.
Okay.
Lay my hands on him and get ready to cast Cure Wounds.
All right. She grabs that
I'm ready
scapular.
too if Shakara will give me a chance, but she can do it.
You cast Spare the Dying.
Puts the vial of phlogiston away and grabs the scapular once again, finally severing the third tendril. Falzaren, Constitution saving throw, please.
So, I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete's Falzaren.
Frick. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna upcast.
That'll be a total of
Let me look to see if there's anything else I can give you.
5. No, 6.
Oh my gosh.
If you outright die, it's not like Chikara killing.
Well,
Brad,
I'm gonna
right?
upcast. Whatever he gets damage-wise, I'm gonna upcast Cure Wounds.
You have Revivify prepared, right?
Yeah, I have
He
it
does
prepared.
need to survive this for you to. For the cure doesn't really matter, but yes.
Well, you're not gonna double his hit points and damage, are you?
It's possible.
All
We'll see.
all that needs to be dealt to him are his current hit point max plus whatever hit points he has right now. If it's more than that, he's instantly dead. What is that total, Falzaren?
Sorry, so it's my hit point maximum plus how many hit points I currently have?
That's right.
Shaft is killing Falzaren. Shakara's sacrificing herself for him. This is terrible.
That's not my fault this time!
Look, he needed to roll better.
He should have lied. That's what I told. I could see his face on Zoom. I was like, lie. Ugh. Dude, I'm like, Mia would probably be pissed enough to just attack Eric or Isabella and have no chance.
So that's a total of 58.
Wow. You take 55 necrotic damage.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Holy crap.
Okay, well let's So he's like real
So you're,
dead
you're
right now.
still standing though.
No, I'm down, but
You're on your ass, but
I'm not insta-killed.
I'm going to 4th level cure wounds, because isn't there one more?
that was the third. That was the final tendril.
Mia, do something.
And so it doesn't matter because he's essentially at 0. I cast cure wounds at the 1st level then. How is that so low? Ugh. Okay, so that's only 8. Bummer.
Izzy, what have you done?
You see the remnants of these tendrils that kind of, as she's kind of cutting this outstretched piece of flesh, whatever it's made of. The last bits on the end that would still be attached to your chest, you see that they start to like shrivel, and they just kind of fall out of this wound now, kind of in your chest. I imagine like Mia's magic has helped in clotting it and preventing it from bleeding and starting to close it, and those like the green veins that stretch across your body fade and recede as this kind of pus and ooze comes out of your wound before it fully closes and heals as if nothing was there. You no longer have your warlock powers. Your hit points are restored back to your maximum before they were drained, so you don't lose any of that, but you're essentially down a level now. You just have your wizard abilities.
Gotcha. Okay.
And in Isabella's hand, the scapulet, it just crumbles into dust. And she kind of, wipes them off of each other, and that illusion that hid her true hands, form of her hands, kind of reappears, and they look back to being a normal human hands. Well, that was unpleasant, wasn't it?
It
Yes.
sure was, Isabella.
You basically killed the man.
Yes.
I was going to do the other way.
Yes, Shaft, you pushed this on him.
A deal's a deal, right? It's done. No problems. And I think we're all good to go here, right? I look over at Dreg. I go, Mia, Falzaren, Slava, we don't want to forget him. I think we're
Well,
all ready to head out,
As you
right?
say that, Shaft, I feel like I would like to impose a condition of my own. And I look at Isabella.
And I look at Dreg.
If possible, Isabella, can you please promise me that you and your coven will leave Barrack alone?
So, as Mia, you're voicing this, kind of a few things are happening at the same time. Shaft nudging Dreg, I imagine, and Dreg begins. He doesn't even wave his hands. He just says a simple incantation. At the same time, Alamar strides into the Great Hall, and Falzaren and Shaft, you see the form of Alamar, but now, unlike what Shakar witnessed through Sparky, he's walking fully upright. There's zero weakness to his body, it seems. And Falzaren and Shaft, you see that same image, almost this flicker of this image, and see that it is Sardo inhabiting Alamar's body. Of course, only the two of you can see that being his last sworn enemies, which is giving him his existence as a revenant on this world. So Isabella is basically, she regards Sardo, Alardo, as I actually have come to call him in my own notes here. Sardo, he's all yours. He's at least a little weakened, but have at her. And Dreg finishes his incantation as he casts teleport.
I'm going to
Thank the
step
Lord.
in front of Falzaren, in between Falzaren and what I see as Alamar.
Same. I grab my
I knew
hammer.
that- I knew that was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be Alamar. Damn it.
You mean Sardo?
I know, I thought it was going to be Alamar that was coming to kill him. She said, I don't want you dead. It's all in the inflection.
So, Dreg is attempting to teleport himself, Mia, Shaft, and Falzaren.
And I
Slava.
said Slava. I said let's not forget Slava.
And Slava. So now it only works on a willing creature. So the lot of those named people, you kind of, I guess you would feel this kind of instability maybe wash over you, as it's almost like your whole being is like starting to flicker. So I suppose if you weren't willing, this is your chance to not be teleported.
Yeah, I think I'll stay with it. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I am willing.
Falzaren, what are you gonna do?
And I didn't hear you make these plans, so you're just leaving me. That's all I know.
I will
Yeah.
say, though, all of you have been teleported by Dreg before, so this feeling is not unfamiliar, and you've also would have heard his verbal components of the spell as he cast it. So definitely you're all aware that Dreg is casting teleport.
So I would be fully expecting to go.
Yeah, I would probably assume so.
You need to go with them. You will die.
I 100% thought Alamar was gonna come back and kill Falzaren.
Falsy's gonna die if he stays.
Yes.
I think so. You damn near died before we left.
I did die.
You died multiple times.
You damn near died.
I
You
died
died
twice.
many deaths.
You went unconscious twice. That's
You went unconscious twice, but you almost died.
You got KO'd.
This is the worst.
Go.
Yeah, Falzaren doesn't want to leave Shakara, but doesn't see any alternative.
You don't know that I'm being left.
Oh.
Right, that's the thing. You're just you're like, oh, we're getting out of here. I'm
Oh, I
willing.
don't.
Boom. Yeah,
Okay. Then that makes my decision a lot
'Cause
easier.
it makes Mia's decision easier. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Falzaren's not going to resist being teleported out of there. Especially if he thinks Shakara is coming with him.
So the lot of everyone but Shakara vanishes from the room with nary a word. And everyone's off mic except for Emily.
Oh no.
Now I do have a question though.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Do you have a
never
question
mind.
of where the hell you're going?
Yeah. I had an idea where I was going, but I never really verbalized
If Dreg is a deep scion, I will lose it. I will lose my cool.
Get out of here.
it. All right, I'm done.
Oh, where'd everyone go?
They left.
What? Where is everyone? Isabella, what has happened? Where are they?
How are you younger? What is with your voice? How are you alive?
Oh, I'm not Alamar. I'm Sardo.
That explains so much.
Well, I'm sorry, Sardo. I'm not sure where they've gone. They seem to have left you, Shakara.
They did. I feel that was Shaft's doing.
Well, I always liked him, but never trusted him. Now, we certainly have some business, you and I, but please. She turns to Sardo. I believe our deal is done. I brought them here for you to do what you would, but I certainly couldn't control them disappearing. I've posed as Alamar for you. You've given me nothing. This is ridiculous. I'm losing on this deal. Now, Sardo. I suggest you run along. You've done what I need of you. And you wouldn't like me if you continue to make me angry. And Sardo kind of... You see him almost like he closes his eyes and just kind of stands there for a second, as if he's like maybe listening or for something. And he opens his eyes with a frown as he looks at Isabella. Fine. But our business is done. I see you again. You won't like it.
Can you feel them? Can you sense where they've gone?
I know their direction. It won't take me long to find them again.
Which direction? Tell me which direction!
Seems they've gone south. Quite close by.
Not turn away from him. Just dismiss him.
And he just storms out of the keep, out of the Great Hall, leaving you, Isabella, and Hulsa, and her bodyguards. Well, quite a surly individual, isn't he?
Yes. I don't care for him.
No, I never liked him in any forms of his life, quite frankly. Useless trinkets, really.
I've heard.
Now, my dear. My greatest disciple. You see, she says that, you kind of see Hulsa's head kind of very, almost imperceptibly kind of lowers and like sinks as she regards, Isabella regards you as basically calling you her favorite. I suppose now that we're alone, I could certainly answer any questions that you may have. And hopefully quell any reservations about joining the coven.
What would my role be? What is your relationship with Samuel Colstis? What is he going to do with the weapon? What is the coven's ultimate goal?
Wow. A flurry of questions. I'm afraid I don't have quite a flurry of answers for you. I'll answer the ones that I can. Of you, I need you to retrieve something for Samuel, as he asks for quite a high price for the items that he has, that I want, and the Coven wants. You see, he holds the eyes of Dendar, and with his little group that he calls the Paladins of Cultus, they're quite difficult to procure on my own. So I've struck up a bargain with him. I retrieve what he wants, and he hands over what I want. What I need. What Dendar needs.
How did he get her eyes?
That is a story he has not shared with me, I'm afraid. I'm as bewildered as you, quite frankly.
What are the items he wants?
He's assembling some pieces of armor or something that he wants to use, as well as this weapon. Fighting some creatures or something. Quite frankly, I don't think they're really any of my concern.
Is that what the towers are for?
Yes, quite frankly, the eyes power them. That beautiful blue light, you see, cast from the eyes of Dendar. It appears they have many uses.
So the armor will help him fight these creatures. He will no longer need the eyes. Can we expect backstabbing? Will he be true to his word?
As far as my dealings with him have gone, he's proved to be quite trustworthy. I don't believe any type of backstabbing will be done.
Would I know that the blue light hurts people?
I don't know how much Shaft or Falzaren really would have shared with you. I mean, they've really barely talked about the tower job at all, right?
Right.
Where is this armor that he seeks?
He says there's pieces scattered across Aspara.
How many pieces?
Oh, I'm not sure, actually. I just know...
Do you not know anything about this deal that you have made?
Look, all I care about are the pieces he's asked me to find for him.
How many pieces are you required to find?
Well, I've found him his boots. Now I just need to find him the gauntlets. Apparently they're in some mountains outside of Drukal.
Interesting.
As well as these creatures that he seeks to rid Aspara of. They inhabit the mountains or something.
Then the Yogi?
Oh, yeah, that is what he called them, yes.
Samuel Cultus is fighting the Nyogi.
That's what he claims, yes.
Seems I must find these gauntlets then.
I would much appreciate it.
Not for you. For Aspara.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, our coven only does things for Aspara.
For Aspara or for yourself?
I like to think I'm quite a bit, a large part of Aspara. So, yes, to both, I suppose.
I will aid you with this.
So you'll join?
I did not say that.
Oh, are you you'd like to retrieve the gauntlets without getting the benefits of the coven?
What would the benefits be?
Oh, many things. Much power, access to my portal system, and I actually have made a little gift for you in addition.
I will not wear a scabulet.
Oh, no, nothing. No accessories, I'm afraid. But I'm actually quite proud of my creation.
What is it?
Well, it's a new mount for you, actually. I think you'd quite enjoy it. Would you like to see?
I do not quite trust you yet. But yes, I would like to see this.
My goodness, that certainly hurts my feelings. Shakara, I have put
Can you
much
say
trust
you trust
in
me?
you. Yes, of course. Why else would I ask you to the coven?
Days ago, we were trying to kill you.
Yes, but quite frankly, in my line of work, that happens quite a bit. If you were the first to have tried to kill me, I would probably be dead.
I do appreciate your honesty.
I can be trusted.
I mayhaps am coming to see that.
Oh, Halsa, please. Could you retrieve Percival? Halsa, kind of a soundless nod, and she opens the doors back into the courtyard, kind of pushing them open this time and keeping them open. And you hear kind of the soft clipping of hooves as Halsa leads in what would really be the equivalent of a flesh golemed Pegasus. Much of it's like white fur. Any of it that is remaining is now kind of like this, almost like bland gray. Kind of think like the like if you were like gruel, maybe that type of like just the complete lack of color almost. And it's been stitched. It's got thick, long stitches all across its flank, and its wings too. They're kind of, they're not quite furled to its back like you know now they should be. They kind of sit almost half cocked on its body, and it kind of clips in as Halsa leads it. I had a bit of the Eckle juice left over, and I thought I'd put it to good use. The Eckle juice is quite potent.
I cannot believe that you have done this.
I did it for you. I did it for Falzaren.
I would have preferred you'd not.
How else would I have gone to celestial blood for a ritual you demanded I do not perform?
You could have just left them, put them out of their misery. You did not have to create this abomination.
And let Eckle juice go to waste?
I'm sure you could have found another use for it.
And you see, she kind of almost pauses. She kind of waits, pauses. She's kind of looking around, and then like this frown kind of falls on her face. Oh my. It used to be when I say Eckle juice 3 times, Eckle would appear. But I guess that's never going to happen again. Well, no bother. So you don't like Percival then? You don't want Percival. If not, I'll give him to Halsa.
No. I cannot abide by that.
Fine, Halsa. Percival's all yours. She takes him back out to the courtyard then. Out of the room.
It would be better off if you killed him.
You'd kill Percival for nothing? Just for existing?
He should be dead.
You are coven material, Shigara, I tell you. Oh, Halsa! Put Percival out of his misery. Halsa. Also, you hear kind of the a few seconds pass, and the slump of like a heavy weight hitting stone, and Halsa returns, wiping off a dagger on her robes, and closes the doors to the courtyard again, taking her place next to Isabella's bodyguards. Well, are you going to rebuke the rest of my gifts then?
What are the rest of the gifts? The portals? They seem like they could be quite handy.
Yes. They can take you to many places around Aspara. And the additional power, abilities that you'll be able to cast. Would you rebuke those?
No. I believe those could come in quite handy. I believe I can still use them for the good of Aspara.
Well, I suppose you could use them for any way you see fit, yes. They will be your abilities.
So I find these gauntlets. I take them to Cultus. Cultus gives me the eyes of Dendar, which I bring back to you.
No, you can bring me the gauntlets. I can take them to Cultus. I suppose if you'd like to meet him, I could potentially arrange for that.
It could be worthwhile.
Of course.
What of Campbell? I assume you have kept tabs on him all this time?
Yes, he's doing Dendar's work, much like us.
He is all right.
But yes, the last time I checked on him, he was fine, working away in his little shop, with his little potions, doing what he likes.
Okay. That is important to me, that he remains safe.
Of course. What will you do with him? Quite frankly, he could be passed off to you once you've joined the coven, really.
What do you mean, passed off to me?
Well, I mean, he's certainly not going to have a position like yours. He would, quite frankly, be our collective disciple.
I do not know what to think of that. He is my friend, not an underling.
Yes, but we're friends. Halsa, are we friends? Halsa's head has kind of begun to lower, even like sink even lower, kind of throughout this whole exchange as things have been going, and she gives a wordless nod at Isabella. See? You could maintain a friendship. But again, I shall leave that to you, really.
I shall think on it.
Excellent. The eyes of Dendar, they're very important for us to retrieve. Very important for Dendar.
What will happen when you have them back?
Well, we can reunite them with the Serpent Mother herself.
And she will be more powerful?
Oh, she will be whole once more. She has been fractured, I'm afraid.
And that would mean what? More power for us?
Oh, we will all benefit. Yes. Oh, yes. I think Dendar will smile upon us all.
All right. I must go. I do not know if the others would accompany me on this. They did leave me behind.
It seems so. But you have a new family now.
I look at Hulsa. I look back at Isabella.
No offense, but I think I would rather make this journey with them. If I can find them and convince them to join me.
I certainly understand how useful they can be.
Like you said, Falzaren is quite the cockroach.
Yes. Quite frankly, I'm survived. You survived the removal of the scapulet.
Barely. I wish you had handled that better.
I offered to perform the ritual.
After he was already unconscious once.
I wasn't quite sure the amount of damage it would inflict upon him. I did expect him to be a little more sturdy.
How could he be sturdy when you have been draining him of his health?
He brought that upon himself.
Is that how you lead? With an iron fist?
It is how I conduct business. I'm not leading anybody.
Is that how you would conduct business with me?
Had you not been successful in killing Erica, probably, yes.
Are we partners? Are we equals?
Oh, we are all equals in the coven, yes.
Even Hulsa?
Hulsa's not in the coven.
Who is in the coven?
The power of 3. You, me, and Jessica.
And that is it.
The 3 of us, yes, we are equals. Or will be, once we make it official.
And how do we make it official?
Why don't you go ahead and pull out your brand?
Okay. I'll get it out.
And heat it up, perhaps?
Blow fire on it.
Okay, great. And it glows blue hot. Now, if you could apply it to both of your palms.
My palms.
Yes,
And this would make it official. I would be in the coven.
you shall.
I would be your equal.
We would be equals, yes. Under Dendar's eyes, especially.
I do it.
First, when you apply into your palm, Isabella begins to chant. And her second brand application to your palm. The pain, unlike as you brand your arm, as you're kind of progressing through this tutelage of Warlock, we can call it, right? There's no real pain. It's almost like the absence of pain. It's like this numbness, kind of, as you're applying the brands. The second brand after the application, Isabella ceases her chant. The ring as well on your finger, kind of this gift from Dendar, it begins to glow, much like your brand in that blue. It tightens a little bit on your finger, right? Not enough to really constrict it, but you feel and can see the wrappings that make up the body, right? Which would be the round part of the ring. They take this kind of life, and they're kind of moving and coiling around your finger, and it just extends down the full length of your finger. And you can still use it and manipulate it, and there's no problem in bending the knuckles or anything like that. But it's just kind of it's almost like growing with your power, kind of thing. Well, that was easy. Welcome to the coven, my sister.
Yes. I suppose I should say thank you? I do not know. I hope I have not made a rash decision, but I feel this was the right move at this time.
I think we'll all prosper from your addition.
I am aware I am not safe with you or anyone. I am aware that if I cross you, I'm sure you would not hesitate to retaliate. I just want you to know that I am aware.
Well, Aspara is a very dangerous place. Nobody's truly safe.
That is very true. No one is safe.
And I look right in her eyes.
She smiles again, the smile she's kind of had on her face almost this whole time, really. Kind of widens. I appreciate your candor, Shikara.
Now I must find my friends so that we can find your gauntlets.
Yes, I don't know how you'll do that. Where could they have gone?
Sardo said south, so I guess I will start south.
Well, I wish you good luck.
Mayhaps if I hurry I could catch up to him.
Perhaps. Well, before you go, the portals.
Yes.
They do go to a few specific places. Unfortunately, they're not quite as powerful as a simple teleportation. They are tied to physical places. So she basically tells you they have an activation word, which is Lu Fel Femer.
And how
is
do
the
you spell that?
Which, of course, you don't have to know, really, but you know.
Okay. I say the activation word.
Do you want to You want to try to activate it?
Not yet. I want her to tell me where they are. I'm
Right,
just saying,
okay.
in the future, that's what I'll say.
So they're tied to 6 specific places. Obviously, now the keep itself, as you've seen the portal she has constructed on the eastern wall of this hall, this great hall. She tells you one leads directly to Samuel Cultus's keep. One leads to a cave outside of Zexa. One leads to the newly constructed clock tower in Victure. One leads to Isabella's clinic in Zexa. And the final location is a cave north of Goldham, where she conducted the first flesh golem resurrection.
I'm not sure any of those portals will help me.
No, I'm not sure that they will. But they are there for your use.
Might I suggest making one in Drukal,
Drukal? Ugh, filthy city.
but closer to the mountains?
Perhaps I'll take your advice.
What of Hef and Tenchi and Janella?
Oh, well, I'm sure by now, with Sorrow's return, they're imprisoned in Alamar's secret library.
Are they dead?
No, I opted to keep them alive in case I had further use of them. Now, though, the populace of Heraklion believes there's a full council of elders, when the city still remains fully under my control. Well, the Coven's control, really.
I would like to take them with me.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Why not?
Well, as I said, I may need them.
For what? I do not want you to do any experiments on them. I do not want you to turn them into anything other than what they are.
No. I don't need to experiment with them anymore. They may need to make a public appearance once in a while, that's all. To placate the masses, so to speak. Would you want Heraklion to be thrown into turmoil? What if the city would revolt against the Coven? We can't have that. No. We're in a very precarious position now.
For now, I will agree to this. But if I find out that you have harmed them, I will be very upset.
Don't worry. I'll have a few flesh golems check in on them and bring them their food and water that they need to live. You can visit them any time.
I will look in on them now and make sure they are all right.
Of course.
I'll walk back to Almar's study.
As you do, you walk into his office. You see there are 2 flesh golems just standing in there, kind of posted at the entrance of it. And you see they turn to you, obviously noticing your presence as you walk in. But they don't give you any other, they don't move towards you. They just kind of give you a glance and then go back to their sentry duty, basically.
I look down my nose at them.
They don't seem to notice.
Stand taller and just walk past them.
And you do. You walk down and you find Janella, Tenchi, and Hef in 3 of the 4 cages that had the zombies that were originally down there that Mia destroyed, I believe.
Are you all right?
Janella kind of races to the bars. Oh, thank goodness. Shakar, where are the others? You have to get us out of here. I don't think that was Alamar.
It was not. It was not Alamar.
Did you see him?
I did.
Is he still here?
No, he has left. As have the others. They have left me.
Where have they gone? Even Shaft?
Yes, they all left, but Falzaren... that was not Alamar. It was Sardo. And Sardo would have killed Falzaren.
I'm confused. Will you get us out of here?
And I'll go up to the cage and I'll put my hand on the bars.
I am sorry, but for now, I cannot free you.
What do you mean?
Isabella has promised she will take care of you. She will see to your needs. She will not harm you. I must find the others.
But no, you can't leave us here. Look at the condition of Tenchi and Hef. And you see that they're actually unconscious in their cells. It seems they've been roughed up. Maybe they put up a fight against Sardo and probably the two flesh golems that are standing in the office. Tenchi has a pretty gnarly gash on his forehead that's kind of slowly leaking blood, forming a small pool beneath him. Hef is like slumped into a corner of the cell. He's got both his eyes are blackened and kind of dried droplets of blood from the corner of his mouth.
Can I reach them? To touch them?
You can't reach Hef, but you could reach Tenchi for sure.
So I'll reach out to Tenchi and I will cast Cure Wounds at first level. He gets 5 hit points.
Sparky, I need a favor.
And I will cast Cure Wounds through Sparky.
Okay, so you call him out of his pocket dimension.
Yep. That's 10 points for Hef.
And both of them sputter awake. Tenchi sits up, immediately a hand to his head as he seems to have gotten up a little too quickly. And he just kind of winces. He looks around, sees you, Shakara. Well, hell of a thing now. You gonna be getting us out of here?
I am sorry, I cannot. Not right yet.
What are you talking about? Haven't I been nothing but good to you? Where's Shaft? Get Shaft.
Shaft has teleported away, as have the others. I must go find them now. I'm sorry, I must go.
And I turn around and run out.
Oh, wait, eh? This Hef kind of calls after you, and you exit Alamar's library.
Yep. Run out the keep. Don't even say anything to Isabella. Just run past her.
So, as part of some of the powers anointed to you by being in the Coven. Now, generally, a Coven is strengthened when they're together, and when the Coven is full. That's this kind of power of 3. So now, as being part of it, you've been granted the once daily castings. Basically, it doesn't expend any spell slots. You can do these once per long rest, so once in a 24-hour period. You can cast the spell Blight, Animate Dead, and Death Ward.
As I walk out of the keep, I'm going to take my original brand out of my bag. And I will look at it, drop it on the ground, and flame breath it and melt it.
I am no longer worthy of this. And that's our show?
Shakar, please, just let me handle this. It's okay. I'll explain later. It's all okay. Thanks for listening. The Incorrigible Party can be found on all of the social medias. Go to incorrigibleparty.com to find all the links. And we have a Patreon. Our patrons get extras like giving inspiration to their favorite character and mini campaigns. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. All ambient sounds and music during the episode are courtesy of tabletopaudio.com, and our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can contact him for all your own musical needs by email at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Happy adventuring!